How you doing, gang? Sorry about that noise. My computer's starting up. It's been quite a few days, and it's been kind of hectic days. A lot of you guys have probably seen other videos already on YouTube, or have gotten the email yourself. I know I've gotten some comments and messages from people that their pages are either up on subscriptions or almost there, have the hours but not the subscriptions, have the subscriptions but not the view hours, to stay monetized through 2018. As of February 20th, YouTube's requirements for being a monetized channel will change, and my channel is not going to be monetized anymore. They're not saying I can fix it before then. Basically, I have to reapply. I was on YouTube back when, in order to play more than a 10-minute video, you had to get director status. And we did that. We jumped through those hoops. Then we had to, jump through hoops to get Google AdSense. So we had to jump through hoops to monetize. Then we had to go through and prove that our videos, just last year, I did a video on it. We had to keep saying our videos were not too violent, we're not controversial, we're not, containing sexual content, whatever, in order to be appropriate for advertisers. And now, and all that time I've been fending off false copyright claims, people who sold their music to royalty-free houses and then would flag us if we used the music, or same thing with footage. These auto flag systems that would call us out for using stuff that we paid money to use, or that we joined up to other services so that we'd have the right to use it. And all this stuff and all the years that we've been dealing with their BS, and now they just kind of dropped this bomb on us. Boom, you're not monetized anymore. The money was never a big deal. There's not, this cup of coffee I'm having right here is not paid for every day by this money. Okay, I mean, the numbers you can see next to my videos on how many people watch them will tell you that. But the fact of the matter is, it's a sign of disrespect to just kind of pull that from channels that haven't really done anything wrong, because they don't have the time to come along and check each one of the videos we post. Right? I mean, basically that's what it's coming down to. If we don't have enough subscribers and we don't have enough minutes, we don't earn them enough money for them to babysit us and make sure that we're not posting stuff that's going to offend their advertisers. The problem I have with this is my channel has no strikes against it right now. I mean, I got nothing but little smiley faces. And yet, all of us who didn't grow fast enough are being piled in with the people who did cause strikes against themselves. There's somebody with links to, has 2 videos up with links to my movies, using artwork without permission to bootleg my own movie and to send you guys to sites where you can watch my movies. And I have to constantly flag these things, right? There are movies on there that were made by major production companies that have not fallen into the public domain, like the ones that we used for our 3D conversions, which will be getting set to private soon, by the way, guys. Those are up there. And YouTube is happy, 154,000 views for some of these things that are illegally up there, and YouTube is just happily letting those float along because they're making a lot of money on that. Right? So until somebody comes along and flags it, they say, oh, it's not our problem. But the smaller things, we don't make them enough money to be not their problem. So how that's going to affect this channel, I'm still going to post stuff. I'm going to post stuff that's promotional for my other movies right here. So a lot of the inside HFP stuff that relates to specific movies will still be here. The behind-the-scenes stuff for Jack vs. Lanterns will still come up. It's actually what this video, I'm going a little long in the mouth here, but it's actually what this video will be about. But the production values, were already fairly low. They're probably going to go lower. I'm not going to spend as much time on these things as I did before, because it's just not worth my time to spend it. It was barely worth my time to spend it before when I was making almost no money. Now that I'm making literally no money, I can't spend that much time on it. I will be posting these things on my blog space and eventually my website. And I would ask you guys who want to support us to go watch it there. There are display ads there. We don't really make any money on them if you don't click them. I mean, we make a little bit for impressions, and the more impressions we get, the more money we make. So, it would be great if you guys go there and watch the videos instead. I'll have the links down there my blog space, and for the other one is hokefolkprod.com. You guys know that link. If you're going to watch any of our videos and they're over there, I'd really appreciate if you watch them there instead, because we still have advertising there. Now, I'd like to, stick it to the man and use a different advertiser. Advertisers still Google. Google owns YouTube. I'm paying the same people. I'm earning money for the same people who are making us do it this roundaboutsy way. But that's what it is. So the next two Inside HFP videos are basically just shots of my computer screen. My laptop screen is what I was editing on when I did those. It's on color correction and syncing up audio manually. And I was going to go through and re-edit and do voiceover for it instead of me yammering while we shot the screen, but because of this new development, I need to concentrate more on working on stuff for Amazon Prime and my other channels, and finding new outlets now. So, rather than build on this thing where they just keep, pushing buttons to make it tougher and tougher to grow a channel. So until we see where this is going, YouTube's, our YouTube channel's not going to go away. I'm thankful for all the new subscribers. I really am. And I don't want to say, oh, you guys all subscribe, thanks for the support, but we're gone. I'm not going to do that. Other channels have done that. But what I am going to say is, where this used to be prioritized in my day, it is dropped below everything. I mean, it's after my blogs, it's after my editing, it's after my day job, and all those things it should be anyway. But now it's also going to be after I feel like sitting on the porch and having a cup of coffee. It's also going to be after, there's a prop that I've been meaning to make, and whereas before I would let this distract me and say, oh, I need to set the camera up and set the lights up and do everything else before I work on this prop so I could do a video of it for the YouTube channel. That's not going to happen anymore. If I've got the time to do it, I'll do it that way. Otherwise, it's going to be I do the work and I'll do a video real quick telling you how I did it afterwards. But I'm not going to go through the trouble to make sure that the camera and everything else is set up before I start working on something. And that's about it. Let me get on to this video here, and I'll complain a little bit more something else. Oh, one more video I am going to put a good amount of work into, because my wife set the studio up for it, and I'm not going to let her have done work for nothing, is the Parasite movie review I'm going to do. I watched that. It was originally a 3D movie, so I'm going to be doing a 3D review. So if you have red and blue glasses, or you have a way to get red and blue glasses, get them, because that's going to be the last 3D video we put on here. Alright guys, we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Alright guys, so sorry about this strange angle here. It's not easy having the camera next to me while I edit. And as you can see, I use a very professional one-screen laptop editing right now. But so here we go. If you're looking at if you can't see the clock on the side of my computer here, but it's 3:30 in the morning. This is the kind of thing you have to do when this is your first passion but your second gig, right? So this is something I put together months ago for the actor. He wanted something for his reel, and I cut this scene here because it was enough to give an idea of what his scene was. But there's a lot more to it, and so this gives us an opportunity to look at footage which I've already color corrected. And this shot here, which is currently not color corrected. And I say not color corrected, that's actually beautiful color there. It's too good, right? Because this is supposed to be nighttime, and he's being lit with a balanced 3200K light, and the camera's set to it and everything. And so it doesn't read like moonlight at all. This is brighter than nighttime also, but audiences like brighter more than they like realistic, right? So we didn't make it too dark, but if you look at some of this other footage we did, it's obviously got more of a bluish tint to it, and the colors are a little bit more muted. Now I'm trying to remember exactly how I did that, and I believe what I did was I used our fast color corrector, because I like the name of that, right? Fast! Take the fast color corrector, you drop it on here, and go to our effects controls. The easiest thing to do, here's a little cheat. I've got him wearing that tan shirt, right? If you take your eyedropper and you tell it that tan is white, there you go. Your colors mute down. You get that little bit of a blue tint to it, and if you look, it matches this fairly well, the way the colors are here to how they are here. And that was basically how I started doing that. Now, I had pulled the blue in a little bit more in that direction and stuff, and you know, that's a little too green. You can go that route where you go a little more blue, but I'm not entirely a fan of that, just because it starts to haze it out a little bit, and it may be a little bit too much, but you can always go a little bit further. But having that tan there to start with gives you a place to go. And again, you're looking at that and you're like, that doesn't look that moonlighty, it doesn't look that different. And I honestly don't know how it's going to look on your screen from this screen, so I'll have to also output. I've got a photo that we'll use for the difference to demonstrate it. But if you take the color corrector off, I mean, you can see everything goes more yellow. He gets more vibrant in his color. Everything just, there's even more separation from the background, which I would prefer, but we want it to look like nighttime moonlight, and there we go. So it's just that quick. Now I've got a tan shirt there, so it's a little bit of cheating. But again, you can use the wheel to move that around, or even just, you know, take your white balance and test it in other places. But tan really is like the go-to color for getting everything to go just that little bit cooler, which I find interesting. Now, of course, the other way to do it is once you get your match, the place you can start would be to go to the clip before it, copy it, and then paste the attributes to the other clip. And see, that's a little bit more blue. So obviously I had pulled the other one a little bit more towards the blue. But that doesn't always work, because, you know, sometimes it'll make like a close-up like this too blue compared to a far shot like that, which is less. Like the color correction doesn't kind of affect as much of it as it does seem to here. So that almost seems to go too far. It washes out the colors too much, so we'll back it up and go with the lesser of the correction. And again, I prefer during an edit like this to do less. You can always, once you output the full clip, put more correction on it. So there you go, guys. This is, you know, again, I'm gonna have to watch this back and see how it looks to see if it's any use to you guys. But you know, that's a real quick way to do color correction, how we did it in this particular scene of Jack vs. Lanterns that we shot in a backyard that we were trying to make look like a kind of overlook where, you know, couples would go. So we'll talk to you soon, guys. Bye bye.